Louisville football has had a rollercoaster start to year 4 of the Scott Satterfield era. After saying his players were hungry to gain the respect that we want at the onset of camp, Satterfield and the Cardinals laid an egg during a blowout loss on the road to Atlantic Coast Conference foe Syracuse in Week 1. There was no shortage of incendiary, knee-jerk reactions from U of L faithful in the wake of the beatdown. Days later, athletic director Josh Heird delivered an even-keeled take that perhaps best sums up the situation. If you weren't disappointed in that performance on Saturday night, I don't think you're a Cardinal fan. Satterfield's team responded to the criticism in Week 2 by weathering a rocky first half en route to a comeback victory on the road against the University of Central Florida. On Friday night, Louisville took the field in front of a home crowd for the first time this season, looking to get above 500 with a third consecutive win over Florida State. Malik Cunningham, why balance from the QB is key to unlocking Louisville football's offense. Fan reactions. Cardinals faithful were exhausted after grueling win at UCF. How are Cards fans feeling about where the program stands heading into Satterfield's 40th game at the helm? The Courier Journal went tailgate hopping with 5 questions before the Cardinals kicked off against the Seminoles. On a scale of 1, calm, to 5, hitting the panic button, how do you feel after Louisville football's 1-1 start to the season? September 9, 2022, Orlando, Florida, USA. Louisville Cardinals running back Tiyon Evans, 7, scores a touchdown during the first quarter against the UCF Knights at FBC Mortgage Stadium. Mandatory credit, Mike Waters. USA Today Sports. Matthew Lundergan, a season ticket holder, probably 2. I mean, first game of the season I would say was just a fluke. The team wasn't ready to play. Against UCF, they looked ready to play. They looked like they got a bunch of stuff under control. I think we have a really good team. It's just, coaching just needs to get it all together. Karen Matthews, a season ticket holder with her husband, Craig, am an optimist, and, darn it, these kids are gonna kick A. Craig Matthews, if we win tonight, it'll feel much better. Derrick, a U of L alum who lives in Jeffersonville, Indiana, am like a 2. Am not too worried about it. Syracuse was kind of crazy, don't get me wrong, obviously everybody was upset about that, but they bounced back with UCF, had a great game plan, and now we're here, Florida State, a coin flip game. Gina, who drove from Benton, Kentucky, to watch the Cardinals, a 3, because I need to see a little bit more to see how it's gonna go. Gerald Mason, a season ticket holder, I will say a 2. We'll see today where they're at. How satisfied are you with where Louisville football is as a program in year 4 under Scott Satterfield? Louisville head coach Scott Satterfield directs players on the field during the first half of an NCAA college football game against Central Florida, Friday, September 9, 2022, in Orlando, Florida. AP photo John Rose, Craig Matthews, that's still to be determined. The recruiting is off the charts, obviously. I like him, I want him to be successful. I'm not certain that he's the right guy yet. Karen Matthews, where we were before Satterfield came in, I think he's doing pretty well. He could be doing better, but, at the same time, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. That's what our kindergarten teachers told our kids. Noah Brixey, a U of L alum and Louisville transplant from Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't think anyone's satisfied, but definitely I think this is make or break for him. I do feel like if we put up at least 6 wins, either 5 or 6 wins, I think he's coming back on a 1-year, prove-it deal just cause of the recruits we got coming next year. Jim, a Louisville native and U of L alum who lives in Georgia, am satisfied. We can be better, but we need continuity, desperately need continuity. Lance Taylor, how Louisville football's new OC carries Native American heritage with him. Louisville football, why the Cardinals defense can breathe a sigh of relief before home opener. Gerald Mason, am really surprised at some of the 4- and 5-star recruits that he's able to bring in, but I am unsure about his offensive coordinator. When I watch on TV, it doesn't look like he's calling the plays. It looks like Satterfield has been calling the same plays for 3 years in a row. I would like an offensive coordinator to come in and call some different plays. It seems like everybody knows what we're going to do. Jamie, a Louisville native who lives in Georgia, Appalachian State, just beat Texas A&M. We need to be in a better position than where we are right now. Matthew Lundergan, I don't think he's the best fit, as we've seen, but I think Lance Taylor and a bunch of other coaches he's brought in are really good. I don't know if Satterfield will be here next year or two, but program-wise I think we got really good recruits coming in next year. So he's setting it up to have a good year, but Satterfield as a coach I'm not 100% sold on yet. How much of your excitement for Louisville football is rooted in the Cardinals' highly touted 2023 recruiting class? A billboard for Pierce Clarkson says, "Dear Louisville, I'm home. Let's build something special together" can be seen at Lynn Family Stadium on Friday morning. I think we'll have a really big year. Noah Brixey, I think there's a lot of excitement, but this is the season where it's make or break. If the team comes out poor, there's a lot of guys that might start looking elsewhere, so I think there's still a lot to prove. Derrick, definitively excited about that class, but honestly, freshmen, they're not going to change a whole bunch. We lost all those games in the fourth quarter. We didn't have a whole bunch of depth. We kept the lead last week. I think that's probably going to continue. Louisville football recruiting, these players have committed to the Cardinals 2023 class. Richard Carr, a Louisville native and decades-long fan, it makes the excitement for the future kind of off the chart, because if we can continue not just one recruiting year but build on that, we'll have a superb team. Craig Matthews, that influences us some, but we're also excited that we've improved our roster from last year. We were disappointed in last year. I fully believe we could have won 2 or 3 more games last year with the team that we had, but we didn't, so I was as excited as I could possibly be. So I'm still trying to maintain that optimism. Karen Matthews, I always look for our local kids. As long as they're local kids, I am all about it. I want to see more local kids. Jim, cool, but I like the guys that are here. Cool, but we need to win now. Which Louisville football player has impressed you the most to start the season? Wide receiver Tyler Hudson, right, prepares to run a route during U of L's first spring football practice of 2022 on Monday afternoon. Derrick, sophomore defensive lineman Ashton Gillate. Matthew Lundergan, junior running back Tiyon Evans. Jamie, good to see, redshirt senior linebacker, Monty Montgomery back and healthy. A first look at Cardinal Stadium's new Angels Envy Bourbon Club. Craig Matthews, don't think it was a surprise, but Ashton Gillate stood out to me. I think that he is playing some really good football right now. Richard Carr, senior wide receiver Tyler Hudson. I think the offense is well-rounded. I think we're in good shape there. Gerald Mason, Hudson looked really good. I'm really impressed by him. I'd like to see them throw the ball a little bit more. What will Louisville football's record be at the end of the 2022 season? Matthew Lundergan, I'm hoping for 9-3, because I think we do have a really good team. Maybe 7-5, or 8-4 just because of coaching errors or coaching problems. Richard Carr, 7-5, they're still building and they have a very tough schedule. If they can get 7 wins out of that or better, you'll be really happy. Derrick, I think we were probably projected somewhere around 6 or 7 wins. I think that's probably going to be where it is again. A couple of games we're not supposed to win, a couple of games that we are. I think we have a lot of coin flips, so we just gotta win a couple of coin flips and try to get one extra one that we're not supposed to. Louisville football, everything you need to know about the Cardinals in 2022. Players, schedule, analysis. Noah Brixey, I think we get at least 6 wins. At the same time, I wouldn't be surprised we get less than 6. Gina, I'm gonna go as far as to say 6 wins. Gerald Mason, I think a 7-win season would be really good, so that's what I'm hoping for, at least. Karen Matthews, 7 wins. We're gonna do it, we're gonna be at a bowl game, and we will see you there. Craig Matthews, that's a tough one. I'm gonna stay positive and say 7 wins. If they lose tonight, then 4. This article originally appeared on Louisville Courier Journal. Louisville football fans talk Scott Satterfield 2022 season.